Do you know that 60% of criminals come from broken families? And do you know that if you come from a broken family, you're actually twice as likely to be locked up? And another interesting point is that only 16 to 20% of people that were addicted to ice or methamphetamines recover and get their life on track, rehabilitate. I've been all of those, okay? So I was an ice addict for many years. I've been a criminal for many years in my life. And it wasn't all intentional. You know, I come from a good family, and my family, you know, engineers, PhD, masters, all that sort of stuff. But there was some things that happened that led to a divorce between my parents. And for me, that was devastating. I blamed my father for a long time. I drank the poison hoping someone else would die. And that really destroyed me in a way where I was in a negative mindset. And I tried to duplicate what my brothers were doing, what other older boys were doing. And I ended up getting involved in, you know, crime and fights and gangs. And, you know, that at first it was petty stuff, just fighting from area to area and building a reputation. But then that led to, you know, trying to go deeper, and I ended up surrounding myself with some people that had goals, and we had goals to be gangsters and thugs. And, you know, I ended up getting involved in drugs, and I got addicted to the drugs. It was weed and speed, and then ice, and ice was just the killer, man. And that one there just led me to do a lot of things that I wouldn't usually do, and a lot of things happened in my life as well. And I'll just touch on some of those things just so I can let you know that no matter what you go through, man, you can make it out. You know, I am one of the odds. If those percentages work against me, then there's another percentage that works against the average person as well, which is only 5% of people actually make it and live their dreams, live the way they want to live. And so if 95% of people automatically don't live the way that they want to live, so what are my odds, you know, coming from drugs and for years? I mean, from 15, 16 to 23. And I'm talking about almost every day, almost every day. So what are my odds? You know, under 1% chance of winning. That's a very low chance. And it just took an insane hunger and a disgust in my life to really want to change. And so I've been slashed on the neck before. I've been shot at multiple times. I've had a drive-by in my house. I've, you know, bullet holes all over the house that I was in, shotgun holes. I've had a bullet that went through my window, straight through my window where I was actually there, and it went through the kitchen cabinet. My mum was home. 5 minutes later, she was laughing because she became a bit cuckoo like us because she was so used to that stuff. It was actually insane, kind of funny, but insane. She's pretty cool. Now, I've been jumped multiple times. I mean, I've done my own fair share of crazy things myself. You know, over 150 charges to my name, county court charges, most of them. I should be locked up. I've been locked up for a few different days, but I should be locked. I'm so lucky that I didn't get locked up because I've got friends that actually did less than me, and they ended up getting locked up. And because of the cycle of getting locked up, they ended up getting back in jail again and again and again. In fact, one of my best friends, I was more of the hothead back then. One of my best friends, he ended up, we had a falling out. After the falling out was when I did my best to change, because the time where I wanted to change was, you know, I realized that the loyalty wasn't there. It just wasn't there. People were snaking each other, dogging each other for money and drugs and power. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't where I want to be. I do come from a good family. I just got caught up in a bad mindset, and, you know, it just poisoned my mentality and my thoughts and my actions. And so I thought to myself, you know, this isn't where I want to be. But now I'm like stuck with the drug addiction and all that sort of stuff. So I was in a relationship. I tried to, you know, we wanted to get married. The parents didn't like me because they heard a lot about me, and there was a religious difference. We ran away together because they wouldn't accept me coming to the house and doing it the right way. You know, young and stupid. 2 days later, I got done over by a task force, machine guns to my head, rammed into my car. I had a decent amount of drugs on me. I wanted to stash it. I couldn't. I didn't even have enough time to stash it. So they pulled me out. I didn't know it was cops because the forward drive, there was two. One rammed into me, one on my side with machine guns to my head. I thought I was dead. They were older forward drive. So I'm like, who the heck are these guys, man? put to the ground, zip tied. She was taken away. I never saw her again. I got locked up for for a day, and they raided all my house, both my mum's and my house. I had things there. Lucky I had smart people that stashed those weapons, because they would have put me away for a long time. And you know, I was so depressed. I wanted to change. And my brother pushed me to go meet someone who was a martial artist, ex-gangster, ex-special forces soldier, that helped me in my martial arts journey. I wanted to be a UFC fighter. I was quite good at it, and then I had some knee injuries. I ended up having surgeries on my knee, and you know, it took for me to find actually a new environment of personal development and growth. Network marketing, in fact, was where I started to grow and change. And I met my now wife at the time, and man, God blessed me with a good woman that loved me and cared about me. I drove her nuts in the beginning, you know, a lot of changes had to happen here. We helped each other out. And that journey was just what changed things. I ended up going in that business for 9 years. Things happened at the end. I discovered some things that, you know, I never really publicly announced. And I got set up and removed from the business. Set up for sure. I've got all the evidence of that, which was crazy, because you give your life to companies and that happens. But anyway, it was a blessing, because I got to go on my own path, started my own coaching company, did well there. I'm still a coach, and I love helping people, you know, overcome their trauma, their limiting beliefs, unlock their personal power, unlock their unstoppable charisma and what's inside of them, to bring it out and get their peak performance. I love that, because for me, it's like I wish I had someone there at the time. And because I've overcome that type of darkness, I feel like I'm in a position to really help people. So in wrapping up, so I don't keep this too long, you know, I've got that friend I told you about, the one that, you know, he was my best friend at the time. We had goals to be gangsters, all these things. He actually fully went down that route. And he ended up getting locked up around the time when I started my personal growth journey. And I spoke to him last year because his brother died. So I called him out of courtesy and sent him my condolences. And he was locked up 12 out of 13 years. Where I was growing out of those years, he was locked up. Another thing that was crazy was, he said he wanted to change. He feels like he lost his life. I tried to encourage him. And he said that, he wanted to move overseas, all these things. We got off the phone. I find out 2 months later that he got locked up again for 10 years. And I was just thinking, like, where I could have been and where I am now. 5 kids, beautiful wife, successful business journeys. I mean, I've been the number one performer, number 1%, top 1% performer, and practically everything I've been in the last few years, based on the principles that I put into place, and the hunger and the disgust of my past. And I'm like, that's it, it's on, I'm going for it, I'm going to live my dreams. Like, there's no doubt, do or die. And I want you guys to have the hope that you can change too. You could do it. You don't need to settle for less. You don't need to, give up. You don't need to just hate on yourself all the time. You can step up and change the story. It's up to you, man. Okay? So thank you guys for watching this long. I hope this, served its purpose by giving you hope and sharing some things that are quite personal to me. I guess transparency is what's necessary for people to understand you, understand where you come from, and also give a glimpse of how you can transform as well. God bless you guys. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.